Nacho Average Tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome back to Nacho Cheese Tabletop. I'm Zach.
I'm Mac.
And I'm Pepper.
And today we're going to do a little bit of a recap of the Nacho Average board game tournament. The fourth of these.
Yeah.
So,
Fourth annual.
yes.
Woo.
So, and this year our theme was Card Sharks. So
Yes.
it was all games with some form of card play in them. Whereas last year, if you watched our recap of that one, that was dice driven. So that was Dice, baby.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this year we ended up playing 8 games. We had 9 people, which is pretty typical. I think we've usually been around like that 8, 9, 9 people. So I think that works out pretty well. But yeah, we kind of started off the day kind of like most of the other tournaments were broke out into some groups that had kind of just had been predetermined, and then kind of tried to pick some games that I thought would go similar time periods, but obviously you never really know, and there's new people or people that have never played the game before, so it's learning games, which just it's going to take some extra time, so it's kind of hard to tell which ones are going to be the hardest to learn and which ones will be easier than you might think.
Yeah.
Because, right away we ended up playing Red Rising, Ethnos, and Nidavellir as the first 3 games. And for some reason in my head, I thought that Nidavellir would for sure be the hardest one to understand. But it actually seemed like that one wasn't too rough. And then maybe Red Rising was kind of the one that ended up being, which it does have. Definitely, it is one that
you benefit from
extra plays and
Yeah.
stuff. But overall, I thought all 3 of those were pretty solid to be in the tournament. I don't know what you guys thought.
Yeah, I thought all 3 of those were very nice, and so each of us were in different groups, since obviously us 3 know the games the most, so there would always be at least someone who is familiar with the games, because there are some people who all of these games are new to them. So then we would have questions that could be answered then. And I think I was with Carson and Blake hadn't played any of those, and he got on pretty quickly with all 3 of those. Red Rising probably still the toughest one, but Nidavellir and Ethnos were, once you explain it, it kind of makes sense. Yeah.
And I had Abby and Mike, and all of these games were brand new to Mike. He was a trooper for learning all these games. And I think he struggled the most with Red Rising. So.
Yeah, and I had Taylor and Zachary, my brother-in-law, in the games. And I think Taylor...
He played Red Rising once, he said?
I think he played that once, and maybe Ethnos once. Nidavellir, I don't believe he had played, but I think he caught on to those. He ended up winning Nidavellir, so he must have got on to that one pretty quickly. I think overall they all were pretty quick to learn. Our group kind of was the first one done, because kind of my hope or thought was that like it'd be kind of these 3 games.
And you played what first?
We started with Nidavellir.
Okay, and we were at Red Rising, so you were at Ethnos?
Yep.
And kind of my hope was that we'd be able to kind of finish before and kind of help get the lunch ready. And then we ended up actually pretty much getting done with all 3 before, like, I think one of the games sort of started for... I thought one of your groups was on Red Rising, and it kind of had either just gotten started when we finished, or... was still kind of going through the rules.
Well, so we played Red Rising, and it was taking a little bit longer. We went to Ethnos next, though, I think. So I'm not sure where you would have gone. You had to have gone to Red Rising.
Was it you?
So you must have gone up to Nidavellir.
We went to Nidavellir next.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know we were the last ones to get the first game done, and
because I think our 2 groups kind of swapped each other's games, and then obviously after those, each went to Red Rising.
Yeah. So.
But like you said, like I had said, Taylor, I think had kind of played a couple of them, whereas you guys both had
brand new.
Brand new to them.
And the thing is, with Red Rising, because I think that one did go the longest of the three, that's the only one that doesn't have like a set amount of
Turns,
rounds. Like in Nidavellir, it's just a certain amount of rounds.
Yep.
In Ethnos, it's going to come up through the bottom half of the deck will end the game.
So yeah, I would think maybe if I redid it out of those three, I'd maybe not include Red Rising. I was debating that one just because of that, not really having a set time, because some games of it can go longer and then some can go shorter. It just kind of depends what gets played and if people are racing towards kind of the three kind of tracks that need to be met to trigger the end game. If no one's really going for one of those or something, or no one's really getting two of them even, then it can just kind of go on and on and on.
Right. And that's why, and like when we
it's hard to prepare for.
Yeah, when we were playing it, I would have liked to not end it when I did, but I was like, everybody's done, and I could end it this round, so I'm going to, regardless of what this does for me or them, because I'm like, it has to be over, because we have to keep going with the tournament play, so like, that was on me, so, but I was like, I really don't want it to end, but I feel like I have to, and I did win, but it's questionable to me, so...
Yeah, but I think overall they were pretty solid choices.
Yep.
But then we had lunch, and kind of just, it was kind of a thing where as groups got done with your 3 games, you kind of just would go take lunch and take however long, because, I was kind of under the impression if we didn't get to certain games, we just wouldn't get to them.
Yeah. Well, and I thought that was weird, too, because somehow we're the second group done, and I think, was it your group?
I think so.
That was last?
Yep.
For lunch, and I was like, how did we beat them out? Because we played Ethnos and Nidavellir next, but...
I think your Red Rising probably went the longest.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Jesse, being evil.
But
Pepper came out.
Yeah, so then we did that.
Didn't even win.
I thought that was pretty good. We got some Nacho Cheese, which I hadn't had that kind before, and I thought that was actually really good, but we may have gotten too much.
Yeah. It might still be in our fridge.
Yes.
It might have been a gallon.
Yeah, it was maybe a little bit too much.
Well, that's all
unless we
they
had more
sell
people, but yeah.
in bulk.
It was good, so
I
I'm
always
not
tell
complaining.
myself I'm never doing the nacho cheese because it's such a mess and it coagulates on the top.
We had two different types of cheese, which probably wasn't
part.
needed, but it was good. Both of those were really good, I thought, but...
Not
obviously,
only do I participate, but I run and cook for the entire tournament.
And we were very thankful.
That's right, you are.
Yeah, so then we got into the afternoon games, which kind of the next two we kind of ended up splitting based on points. So kind of the way we did points was the winner of each of those games would get 4, second place would get 3 points, and then third place would get 2. So you're not really falling too far behind, but... if you win, you get more, and then you get a bonus point if you have the high score. We also did kind of like we did last year, where we kind of did a little dice game for kind of some bonus points. We did a kind of card higher lower game that it didn't work out, I think, as well as the dice did. It didn't for me. I was like, I wasn't as thrilled with how it ended up.
I feel like the cards were pretty nasty.
Yeah, the cards were not
early
that
on.
nice.
Yeah, like we matched like even like a 3 on a 3, which we had said in the rules. You can go same, but probably won't happen. And it did happen to bust everyone.
Right. So, didn't go as well as I would have liked.
I don't think it was that bad. I enjoyed it.
It was fine.
I think I got a couple points from it. So
I'm not upset about it. But yeah,
gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
Split into groups and ended up playing Sheriff of Nottingham and Libertalia Winds of Galecrest.
Yeah.
So 2 very different games. I think it was the timing on those are pretty close.
Yeah, they were
It ended up
close.
being pretty good timing wise. I think those Libertalia is a little tougher to teach and learn just because
with
of the
whole
reputation
track and ordering and
That really bugged people up.
Yeah, I think that part is by
I've
far
only
the toughest.
recently gotten used to it, so I totally understand that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird because it's always made sense to me from the very beginning, but I know people just struggle with that, and I don't know how to best teach that. That seems like the hardest part, and I'm like, no matter how much I emphasize these and kind of go over it multiple times, it still kind of is messed up in people's heads. I don't know if it's the way they're sitting on the table.
Yeah.
That
You
could-
definitely
should-
need to be.
It just you just kind of need
You
to
can't
like
ever
look at the
say-
track,
Yeah.
and wherever that is,
Yep.
that's kind of where yours is going to be positioned.
Yeah.
So it
if you're,
shouldn't really
if you're purple
matter
and
where.
yours is on this side of the track, and somebody else is white, and you lay the same card, the purple's gonna go to the left.
Although you can't ever say left or right because someone could be sitting
Right,
I
on
know.
the
because they might be
side
sitting
of
on the opposite side of the table.
Yes, in this scenario, and how I'm explaining it. But purple
Yeah.
would be still it correlates, so purple is
Right.
always
Yeah.
to that
But-
same side of white.
I went into it kind of knowing that was still a struggle.
I know.
Tried to emphasize it. I feel like maybe sometimes, I don't know if people
Yeah.
liked that part of it that much, but I think overall people liked that game.
Well, me and you
Pretty sure.
sat on the opposite side of the board, and then we
Mm-hmm.
let you and the other Mike, I think it was,
Mike,
sit
yep.
on the easy reading side to try and help that. But in the other game it was 5 people, so that probably was more
Mm-hmm.
difficult.
But I thought those two were pretty solid choices for games.
I do
The
not
only
think
thing-
Sheriff of Nottingham was a hit.
I have been. How is it not a hit?
I think it's a hit, but there is kind of Sheriff of Nottingham. You could get it where you might have some. I don't know. You could have people working together.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yep.
that it does make it not maybe the best tournament game, but it was one that I've wanted to get in the tournament for a while.
When
It
I've
probably
been
won't.
championing for a long time to be in the tournament.
True.
Finally got
Probably won't make it in there again, but it got in there.
All
It got its
stars.
moment. It got its moment. But yeah, I think they, like you said, I think the timing on them was about perfect, so I think that worked really well. And then after that, I was debating. I don't remember what time it was exactly,
It was like 6.
but I was debating just taking out. So kind of what we still had left in the day was Welcome to, Colt Express, It's a Wonderful World, and Cartographers. I didn't know how long Colt Express and It's a Wonderful World were going to take because typically for us they're very, very quick games.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, it is only 6-ish. And I'm like,
and we
they
still
shouldn't take
had
that
supper
long.
to make
Right,
too.
right. Which I think, I'm trying to remember when we ended up having that. Was it before?
I think we did it right after Welcome to,
Oh,
because we were trying to decide, and then it was like, let's
Yeah.
just play Welcome to quick, and then
So then we played Welcome to, and I think that one went a little bit slower than I like. It was.
yeah,
I wanted to have the opportunity to get like a whole group game, so that's kind of what was my thoughts with the Welcome to and the Cartographers. But I think that one just ended up going slower than I had expected.
I feel like it did the other year too, because that was in there as well. I think for their second annual, and I think that one went kind of slow as well. So I don't know what it is about that game, but I feel like
It must just not be an overly easy one to learn, because I think
Yeah.
in both those situations we had people learning it,
Yeah.
and that's part
true.
of the reason why.
that's true. Yep.
So
do you think Cartographers would have been a better learn at
I
that
don't,
point?
I don't
though?
know. I
Yeah.
don't know for sure.
Because we had that one in the
That's the
tournament
hard-
as well, and I think that one was also.
We did have Cartographers.
Yep. I think that was the. I think those two were both together in the. I think the second one.
But we did end up playing it and got through it.
Yep, we got
Um,
through it.
And just so you know, I was doing pretty well in the tournament up until this point, and then it was downhill from the moment we played Welcome to.
It's only
I
3
think
Yeah, we
games.
were
I
all
got-
actually doing pretty well.
Yeah.
I think Carson was also up there.
Yeah.
Trying to remember who else was.
It was me,
kind of in the
you,
running.
Jesse, and Mike in the top 4 when we split for Libertalia and Sheriff, and then
I think Carson made a comeback with Welcome to, because I think
Yeah.
she won that one.
she did,
And I
So
got
that was
dead
kind of a
last
big,
of 9 people.
big comeback.
and then it was, who was it at the end? It was me, you, Carson, and was it Jesse? You were
Mhm.
still, yeah.
Yep.
But he may have fallen. Like
Yeah.
you said, that was the turning point for Pepper.
Yes.
Oh, Pepper had the
I
turning
got dead
point.
last in the last 3 games.
So actually, they only people that had been champions in the past were in the final on the final table.
Yeah,
This year,
just you two.
just us two. You seem so confused.
The way you said it, I think, was confusing.
No.
But you're
The
just
final
like,
table.
Well, final table, so to say, like the
top tier.
Because we
Oh, I see.
split again based on points at that time, and it was us two, Carson and Michaela. Because we'd split into a group of 4 and a group of 5.
Right, but it was 2 non-winners and 2 winners.
Right. But yeah, so then we ended up eating, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still not 100% convinced that we had ate after, but we probably did. I don't remember.
Pretty sure we did, but maybe not. I don't know.
But yeah, I don't remember exactly when
Doesn't
we ate.
matter.
Right. But yeah, so then we got into Colt Express and It's a Wonderful World.
Mm-hmm. And we started with Colt.
Yep.
Yep. And then we went to...
It's a Wonderful World.
Yeah.
But yeah, we ended up finishing up Colt pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And the other group for It's a Wonderful World took a little bit longer.
Yep.
than I would have, just because I thought. Yeah, so my thinking on this was I thought these two were going to be kind of the shorter games and kind of wanted to get all the longer stuff out of the way.
They're both like defined set of rounds.
Right. Like you're kind of Colt Express here is dropping cards pretty quickly, and then It's a Wonderful World is simultaneous, so it's kind of should be quick that way as well. But I think just part of the learning of It's a Wonderful World and fully understanding what was going on, I think was just a little bit difficult to learn.
Yeah,
And
being
after-
your first time trying to
Especially
figure it all out and math it and plan it all out.
And after...
Especially 6 games, 7 games in.
Learning all of them, and maybe not
So
being
it's pretty
the
impressive.
same caliber of games that they currently would play, and they're like,
Right.
we're used
And they're
to
totally
learning
different
these
games.
new, like these kind of, but they might not be exactly.
Well, I mean, we went to the World Series of Board Gaming, and you look at us trying to learn games. Granted, in this situation, they did have people with them knowing how to play the game, so at least you have someone to explain it. Whereas, I guess we were reading straight from the rule, but it does wear on you trying to learn multiple games.
It does.
So
It
it's definitely understandable.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought they were pretty solid games. They went pretty well, and the other group was having a great time playing Colt Express.
Like the last game of the day, pretty much. So many hours into it, so many games, new games, and it's like, okay, everyone's gonna be tired, and we're playing It's a Wonderful World, and I just hear them over there making their gun noises, shouting, having a grand old time. And I'm like, how do they have this energy?
They had to be like
It's late in the day.
delirious from like, it was like close to like 11 at that point, I think.
Right.
It was nuts because I don't think they left until like 11. So
then we determined our winner. And it was not a three-peat by me, sadly.
Nope, and I did not get my second championship.
but I did get my first and probably only.
And she didn't even want the color. She's like, I'm going to win this year, and I don't even want blue. I'm like, I never knew that you disliked blue.
I literally never choose it as an option for meeples. Like, if I have any other color, I never choose blue.
And that's when she knew she was going to win.
I knew it too. I was like, no, I didn't. But I was like, this would be the year that I had any type of chance of winning, and it would pick blue. But it's
Well,
alright.
next year I'll let you pick. Since you were the
That's
winner,
alright.
we'll start that new tradition.
There we go. Yeah, so
But yeah,
I
so-
have a trophy to add to the shelf.
Still, only the three at this table.
I know. I
The
kind
three
of.
hosting the tournament.
I made a joke at the beginning of the day. I'm like, thanks to everyone for coming to our annual tournament where Zach invites people over just so he can beat them all and take a trophy home for himself. But at the end, I was like, I should amend that. Thank you for coming to our house for this and allowing me to win
Right.
at my house. So, probably
Yeah.
not that funny, but
What was it?
I feel terrible. I'm like, oh, come to our house. And we feed them, so it's fine.
Right. That's true. But yeah, so then you ended up getting first. I think Zachary
Yeah.
from the other table ended up getting second.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I got third and
Yeah,
Carson got
yeah.
fourth.
Yep.
I think so. Yeah. It's pretty good. And then we gave away Summoner Wars you took.
Yep.
And Zachary took Fort home.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a copy of Patchwork.
Yeah.
So I
Who
let
did we give
Mike
that
Mike or Blake decide. I think Mike was taking home
Okay.
the Patchwork Americana
Mm-hmm.
edition. So
Yeah.
yeah. So I thought overall it went pretty well. It was a little long.
Yeah.
I know trying to think if next year we just do 3-player games. I don't know if that makes it faster or not.
It's weird because I feel like each year we start with 3-player games.
Mhm.
That's probably when everyone's the freshest. So in my head, those ones feel like they go smoother.
Mhm.
But if those, instead of being the first games we play, if those were later on, maybe it wouldn't feel that same way. But in my head, I always feel like the 3-player games go the smoothest.
Well, and I think that's just the hardest thing because I think to combat, like, I'm sure we have a theme for next year already, but like I felt like these games were not that hard to learn, and we struggled with that a lot this year. And so I know what we have on our shelf, and to bring them other games into a tournament, I'm like, oh boy, I just don't. If the learning curve was this bad this year, then I'm like, I'm really questioning what we'd be able to teach and play in a tournament for maybe different
But
themes.
too, it might just be the length of how long the day is.
Yeah.
Because I think part of it too is just learning so many games at once for some people. It just
Got to publish
is a
that
lot.
list a lot sooner.
That's true. Got to you got to get them learning those games earlier.
Which I'm still amazed, like, every year we do this, like, other than the first year, there's always someone who's new to pretty much all these games.
Yeah.
And they're still able to place well and be in the running. It's like Blake, his first year, got 3rd place.
Yeah.
It was
Right.
like, I can't imagine just coming here to someone's house who you don't know,
Right.
playing 8 games you've never played before,
Right.
and placing in the
Yeah.
top 3. It's crazy.
Blake's a trooper.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Mike was right
Yeah.
there for most of the whole tournament. I really think this year's scores were, outside of maybe you, I think everyone
Running
else
away
was
with it.
very close.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Um,
If I had done worse in Cold Express, then I probably would have lost it to Carson.
But Zachary was second.
Yeah, that's true.
So maybe.
I don't know.
You never know.
I tried not to look because I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I just feel bad. But
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, I think next year we are going to do it around the world tournament. So if you have
You
any
heard it here
suggestions,
first.
if you have any suggestions on games that play well in like a tournament type play that also play somewhat quickly, definitely leave any recommendations below for us to look into. Yeah, pretty much anything that would be an hour and a half. I know some of these go over that. Not saying it has to be that, but
Yeah.
if you know of any that, I think mainly looking at games that either like their title is a certain city or something, or even like I was thinking Sonora, possibly where it's kind of
A desert.
the desert.
Oh, yeah.
So kind of possibly locations.
I think
was
we
thinking
did
possibly
let Sonora
parks,
as an actual desert.
parks or something like that,
Oh,
where
yeah.
it's kind of
Exploring.
exploring the world type thing, or planet. I think I'd mentioned maybe as one.
Oh.
So.
Yeah. The Globy one?
Mhm.
Oh.
So, yeah, if you can think of anything great like that and leave it in a comment below, we'd definitely appreciate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was pretty much it. Who do you got your money on next year for winning? What color is the meeple going to be next year, Maggie?
Oh, boy.
Ooh, that's something you got to think about. I'll send you all the colors. There are a lot of options. I think
Pink.
there's probably multiple versions of pink, so we'll have to see which one you
Oh,
want.
boy.
Magenta.
We'll have to take a look.
Just kidding.
But yeah, we also got these coasters
Oh, yes.
again this year, which are awesome.
Yeah. Shout out to Taylor for those.
Yes, these
They're
are
sick.
really awesome.
They
I
are.
might have to ask him for this logo to maybe get T-shirts. I don't know. I know he would love that.
Would you guys want that? Let us know if you want merch.
Well, but yeah. Anything else from the Les Champions?
Les Champions. I don't know. I still just can't believe I won. It's been like a month. And
Speech.
I don't know.
Ding, ding, ding.
I just don't know. It seems like it's not true. Because I was on a serious losing streak before the tournament. And I was like, this is not good.
It was like a movie thing.
It
I
was.
even felt like
Yeah.
I hope she. I was thinking in my head, I hope she doesn't like lose every game here because I know you had been on a bit of a bad streak.
I had been.
It hadn't been good,
was
and I was like,
rough.
Oh god, now she got to play 8 games, and if she doesn't
I know.
play well at all, it's gonna be very
And I was
disheartening.
super scared to start. I told Zach earlier in the morning when I was getting stuff ready, I was like, I do not want to play Red Rising first. I cannot handle the pressure of losing Red Rising first and then going into the rest of the day.
Guess what you're playing first?
It. And then somehow everyone just broke up and it was like, oh, we'll take this one. And we got left with Red Rising. And I was like, I was like, oh no. Luckily, I did win, but I did play against a new person who struggled to learn the rules. So I'm like, I don't know if the result would have been the same, but that is who I was paired with, I guess. So I'll take it.
But yeah, nothing else.
I won Red Rising. I lost Ethnos. I won Nidavellir.
Wow.
I won Libertalia. Winds of Galecrest. I won Sheriff of Nottingham. I won It's a Wonderful World. And I got second in Colt Express. And I think I got like third to last in Welcome To. So it was quite a win streak, but I'm very good. I feel like I'm pretty good at Libertalia, Red Rising. Sheriff was decent, I think, and stuff like that. I lost Ethnos, which I typically am pretty good at.
I won Ethnos for the first time ever, I believe, in the tournament.
So,
Nice.
Crazy.
yeah, pretty good.
Out of nowhere.
Pretty good luck streak, I
Unexpected.
think I had there, and maybe just a little bit more practice on the games over my opponents for those first couple.
It probably does help that we've probably played these games many, many more times than all of our.
And I didn't know because I thought you were my biggest opponent in Libertalia, but yeah.
Wow. What is that supposed to mean? I wasn't?
Well, I think you were by the end of score. I think someone was close, and it was you by the end.
I
But
don't remember.
yeah, I don't either. Colt Express, I knew I had no chance of doing well at, and so I was like, oh, we're just gonna try it. So then, but that's when I like kind of knew I was in the lead, and I was like, oh, this is not good.
Gonna blow it in these last games.
Not good. And then It's a Wonderful World can go so many ways depending on the cards and what you get, and I just didn't even think about it. I was like, we're just gonna play the game and have fun. So that's all I would recommend to people who play tournaments. But
But yeah, that's everything we've got.
it's a quick interview with the champion.
We got the first take from the champion a month later.
Yeah. Nice.
But yeah, if you want to check out anything else on our channel, I don't know if what have we done? Have we done videos on any of these? Red Rising and Libertalia. You can check those out on our channel. Did we do It's a Wonderful World? It feels like one we
Maybe
should do.
early
I think we
on.
did the unboxing for the expansion, so if you want that.
But yeah, if you want to learn about any more of these games, let us know below,
library.
and we can make some videos on these, because these are all, I think, games we'd be loving to play some more and doing some more videos on.
Yeah.
Yes.
But otherwise, we hope to see you on the next video, and as always, don't forget to
Keep on nibbling.
on our content.